that was the first thing that came in, and I have a huge interest in architecture myself. I don't know an awful lot about it, but I certainly would be one of these people that would be going around salvage yards and old houses and period houses, and it's something that I absolutely love. But I saw the exhibition a while ago before I came here, and I'm going to be honest, I was absolutely blown away. And the reason for that is, the first thing that hit me was the map. And when I saw all the places all over Ireland, and they were visibly there on the map itself. Myself, I was born in Tuam institution. And I'm going to be honest, I'm very clear about calling it an institution rather than a mother and baby home, because it was not home. The second thing that I had noticed as well is that when I was looking at the map, I don't actually realise the magnitude only when you see so many buildings together. It really, really, really becomes very, very real. When I saw the architecture, I was absolutely, and again it's my own personal experience of what I saw today. The words that are coming to me right now are the words reverence, the words validation, and that we matter. And it was so obvious today, and I'm just particularly talking about the exhibition, the Ruin exhibition, in that the skilled people involved in it had taken time to really, really listen to survivors, their families, and what we wanted to say and how we were going to be included. It was very, very obvious in that today. What I did like about it is the pacing of it as well. I think they're taking time, which is huge. And the good news was that they were marrying the past, and we are going to have a most beautiful future. And I think that was very, very evident in the walk around that I had today. There's a few things I have written down, and I hope I'm able to explain it in a way. I'm just picking a couple of small points from my own lived history. And that would be that when I did the Tuam Oral History Project with Sarah Ann and her team, it is only when you put a voice on it that you can look back on the story and how important stories are, and the records, the identity, and the archives. But I just want to pick out a couple of things in relation to my own mum. She was a lovely, very gentle, quiet woman, and a very witty woman as well. A most lovely personality, and loved the fun. And then I met her in, I'm just skipping ahead a small bit now, I met her in 1990. And there was something about when I met her, because she told me very, very little about Tuam. But I could see the faraway look in her eyes. I didn't want to press her story, because I knew it brought up an awful lot of trauma for her. Now looking back at it, I probably should have asked a lot more. But you know what? Our quality of time was so, so important. And I let her lead the way, that whatever she wanted to say was fine with me. But there was one particular incident that she spoke about, and I think it lends very much into the architecture, the edge and the ruin project, especially the word secret. My mom kept her head down, and these are the words she used herself. And she had a year to pay back when I was born, that time in 1957. In the 28th of February 1958 would have been her last day in the home. And to say she was heartbroken was an understatement. She was absolutely devastated. But what she did do, the night before, herself and another friend went out into the garden in the Tuam institution itself. And went down to the bottom, and I'm relating her story as she has said it. She went down to the bottom of a wall, the walls all around that are still there, and they took down and they cut some of the wires off the walls on top and made them about that size. They came in and they wrapped cotton wool around very delicately in each one of the wires. They then went along and they got their hair and they made rollers out of the cotton wool and the wire. And they had curls in their hair. Now the reason I'm saying this is because to me that was very poignant, and yet there was a most fantastic defiance in a quiet way. There was resilience, there was courage, and there was great hope. Because when they were leaving the place the next day, they were walking out back into society with curls in their hair. This lends to me very much what we are doing now with architecture. We're taking something that's so invisible and so dark and so secretive and so sad and putting a whole new light in it. And I'm sure many of you here, especially survivors and those who have gone through institutions, our hair was always something that could be cut quite severely in a most awful way, and that when you're going back out into society, she wanted just to have curls in her hair, that she's now back rejoining society, and there's just something about it, that there was a movement there about going forward. And she would be so proud here today if she was here to say, yes, this ruin project is the right thing. We were a secret then, but we're not a secret anymore.
Thanks so much, Teresa. We could say this all day, and this is a Seamus thing.